Hi, my name is Kane Ramsey and welcome to this Clarity, Purpose and Personal Effectiveness Masterclass. Throughout the hours that follow, and I think we're going to be looking around about between maybe 9 or 10 hours, I want to offer you an essential guide to understanding your values, what it is that actually motivates you in life. To setting purpose-driven goals, although this isn't a goal-setting course, it's about you doing all the preparation work, getting ready for setting some well-structured and sensible goals that will actually fit in with your life. It's also about solving problems and making strategic life decisions. Come on, think about it. How many people do you know in your life who end up committing to a career that they just find no fulfillment in whatsoever? They might end up making some sporadic, reckless decisions in their younger years, maybe in their teens, 20s, early 30s, and go on to carry huge regrets in their late 30s, 40s, 50s. I guess the last thing we want to do is wake up one morning in our late 50s or 60s or even our 70s and having spent our entire lives climbing a mountain to achieve something only to reach the top and realise, I've climbed the wrong one. None of us want to get there in life. So throughout this training course, I want to help you to establish a couple of things, if that's all right. Based upon one principle, the way that my mind works, by the way, is my mind likes to work in principles, in order and in structure. What I've found, having kind of come from a 10-year military background many years ago, was that the more personal boundaries we build into our life, the more order and structure we naturally bring into our life. It's only once we have order and structure in our life that we're going to be able to see clear enough in terms of the things that we really want to be saying yes to and doing more of, and the things and sometimes the people we want to be saying no to and sometimes even cutting out of our life. All right. So I want to help you to establish three things. First and foremost, a sense of purpose. Not in a wishy-washy way, find your purpose in life. I know there's lots of kind of radical, whacked out trainings out there, all right? This is not going to be one of them. Very practical, very, very pragmatic and very commonsensical, right? I'm Scottish, I'm not into all that kind of self-help, fluffy woo-woo. And this is not a new idea, all right? Have you ever heard kind of some of the motivational gurus out there, who would even propose when it comes to setting goals in life, the goals that we set in life is irrelevant. They're irrelevant. What is relevant, what's most important is the reason why we want to do the things that we do. And in all seriousness, this is what we're going to unpack throughout this first section of the course. So we can all get on this even keel. It's essential that we understand what motivates us in life. Why? Because so many people will sometimes spend years, I'm talking decades even, going to motivational seminars, looking for some guru on the stage to inspire them or uplift them or encourage them to do something with their lives. And that just don't work, as you've most likely discovered. There's a big difference between being motivated and being a little bit excited because some high energy individual is prancing around on the stage, right? Just saying. So when we tap into our values, some people say they're not motivated at all. Well, I would completely beg to differ. You might question how motivated you are. Well, you're motivated to watch this course right now. You're looking for some answers in your life, which means you are motivated, right? Even if you're kind of doing nothing with your life, you're motivated to do nothing, and there's a reason for that. So it's only when we understand our deepest motivations that we can understand the reasons why we say and do the things that we do. It's only once we understand these things that we can make sense of why it is and how it is that our lives have unfolded in the way in which they have done. So this course is essentially about you making sense of your life. In case you've found yourself ever in the past in a place of stress, tension, disorientation, a little bit confusedness. I don't know what to do with my life. I know that I'm not as fulfilled as I want to be. I know that I want to be more fulfilled than this. Well, this is what we're going to help you to establish. All right. We want to help you to get a reason why you're going to go on to set some goals and work hard and take responsibility for driving your future, which only you can. So I want to help you to establish a missional outlook on life. All right, so many people go through their kind of younger years, sometimes their middle-age years, just existing, sometimes going from dead-end job to dead-end job and, hoping that someone in some way at some point in time is going to step into their life and fix things or change things or make their life work out. And the fact of the matter is, all 7.6 billion of us on the global scale are either driving our own lives or we're not. All right? Every single person in the world wants something. And there's absolutely no one in this world who's ever going to take full responsibility for you. Right? No one. Doesn't matter how you feel, doesn't matter what you think, doesn't matter what you believe, doesn't matter how broken you see your life as being or how successful you see your life as having been. All right? There is no one in this world who will take responsibility for us. Hence a reason I get quite passionate about delivering training courses like this. It's about you, A, on first level, A, on one level, establishing and deciding upon what it is that you actually want, and then B, developing the kind of mindset that's going to prepare you and equip you to get out there and get what you want. All right? Which only you can do. But to be honest with you, our degree of personal effectiveness will be determined by whether we get closer to this kind of vision that we have for the kind of lives that we want to live at some point in the future. The problem many people have is they end up kind of transfixing their focus on what they don't have today, or how they're not feeling today, or how they're not satisfied today, or how they're not happy today. And hear me right, and please believe me when I say that some people become addicted to happiness. Some people become addicted to instant gratification and quick fixes and quick wins. And, people get addicted to this loop, this perpetual loop of going round in circles. And they constantly get little wins today, but it comes at the cost of the progress they could make tomorrow. So the question is, are you progressing to the degree that you want to be progressing in life? Because if you're not progressing, then that means that you might be going around in circles. And if you're going around in circles, I've got to ask you, what is your vision for your future? Because many people don't have much of a greater vision than just feeling a little bit better about themselves today. And this is why many people fail miserably in life, in relationships, vocationally, professionally, financially. And we don't want that for you, do we? Absolutely not. And I reckon that's why you're here. So vision, mission, and purpose is the main goal that we have in this training course. So I've broken it down into 2 different sections, all right, covering 5 different kind of themes, if you like. First and foremost, I want to help you to establish a purpose for wanting to gain clarity, a sense of purpose, and growth. Right? Throughout this section of the course especially, we're going to take some time to unpack and explore your values. We want to understand what making progress in life actually looks like, so we can then evaluate the value in the way in which we're living our lives today. Life is all about learning. It's all about growing. It's all about developing and improving. And the problem is that some people will leave school or their educational experience, perhaps in their late teens, early 20s, and say, right, that's it. That's my learning. I've learned all that I need. And that most certainly is not a healthy or a helpful perspective to take towards life. So it's one thing learning new skills. It's one thing else developing perhaps or growing in knowledge, growing in information, but then it's something else understanding ourselves. And the problem is, throughout society, as you're most likely aware, is that there's not too many institutions out there who are teaching people how to make sense of their own lives, all right, which is what I'm here to help you do today. Get clarity, just to get clarity. Right? So what you go on to do next is actually just in alignment with where you actually want to be heading in life. All right? For this is what progress looks like. If you decide that, at the age of 65 years old, you want to be retired, happily married, with a home, with a moat and a car and a helipad out the back, it's entirely up to you. You get to decide whatever your goals are. The goals in terms of this course are kind of irrelevant. All right? But we must make this decision. We must make this decision about what it is that we actually want. We've got to get clarity on this. Because if we don't have clarity on what it is that we actually want more of in our lives, how we want our lives to unfold, then we stand at risk of going round and round and round in circles, just feeling a little bit better about ourselves because we know that fundamentally we're not making the progress that we really want to make. And making progress in life is just about shortening the gap. It's closing the gap between where we currently are and where we ultimately want to be. So that's the first phase that I want to guide you through, and we're going to help you to understand your priorities. Values are different from priorities. I want to propose and help you understand that we all have the same values in life. Values such as we all value freedom, we all value connection, we all value integrity to some degree or another. Sometimes we value integrity in other people more than within ourselves, just saying. Sometimes we value security. Sometimes we value progress. It's these things in life that we know we just really can't live without. It's our values and meeting our values that give us life. So I want to help you understand how it is that you prioritize your values, because this is where we begin making ill decisions in life. Right? It's one thing being clear on what we value, but if we don't understand how it is that we're prioritizing our values, then we might end up misprioritizing that would take us then in a direction that we might not necessarily have wanted to go. And you're going to be able to decide for yourself as to whether this is going to be useful for you. Just ask yourself the question right now: are you content in life? Are you fulfilled? Are you where you want to be? Do you have everything that you want? Because if the question is yes, well, don't take this course, right? Just seriously move on to something else. If the question is no, I am not content, I am not at peace within myself, I am not where I want to be, well, we're going to help you get clarity as to where it is you do want to be. And then it's easier for you to decide upon those action steps that you need to take to get from here to there. And this is all about establishing clarity for effective goal setting. I then want to offer you a basis for strategic decision making. So just give you a bit more of my background. Yeah, I had a 10-year military background, and I served quite a significant number of years practicing as a coach, as a life coach, as a mentor, also as a counsellor. And this was essentially all that I ever done. Right back then, I would help people to get clarity on the decisions that they could make, and then decide upon the best decision that they really need to make that's going to help them to move forward in life, right? So I want to offer you this basis, right? It's not complicated, it's actually very, very simple. I don't want to bombard you with lots of useless information here, right? Hence the reason I'm going to keep this course as minimal as what I can do, all right, without taking anything away from it. So that moving forward, when it comes to taking action steps on a day-to-day basis, when you're deciding what shall I do today, shall I say yes to this person or no to that person, because you're clear on your purpose and the direction for your life, you don't actually need anyone else to bounce your ideas off, right? You're going to be more than equipped and prepared to hold yourself to account, which is ultimately what personal responsibility and maturity looks like in life. Alrighty, so there is a course learning logbook that we've created for you. You can access via the additional downloadable materials section. I would urge you to download that, print a copy off, unless of course you like taking notes online. If you are struggling to find this if you're watching this on a mobile phone or something like that, log in via a desktop, right? It's generally a lot easier to find. They can be tricky based upon what device you're using. So log into a desktop, download your resource, very easy to find. And this allows you to keep all your notes in one place. I'm hoping that you do go on to have a few aha moments, all right? If you don't have aha moments, you ain't growing in clarity, all right? So I'll be failing you miserably. But one final thought before we kind of move on and officially get started. You might still be deciding whether you actually want to join me on this journey or not. It's this: a teacher cannot make you learn anything. There's nothing that I can say or do that can make you do anything in life. Nothing whatsoever. All that I can do is share with you ideas. For a teacher's words to enlighten you, you must welcome them, reflect on them, find a place in your mind to organise them so that in time you will grow on to understand them. Teaching is my responsibility, and I will take responsibility for that. But my friend, learning is yours. So, if you do choose to join me on this journey, I shall see you again in the next clip, where we will officially get started.